Let's see. There we go. Okay. All right, so this is our, hold on, let me find the other problem. I mean the other, super. It's our IV ketchup rate equation that we worked through just now. So these calculations are used if you get behind on IV fluids. So in this particular scenario, we had a patient that was supposed to get 300 milliliters of IV fluids in 4 hours. So from 8 a.m. to noon. At 10 o'clock in the morning, he had only had 110 milliliters. So we have to figure out how much we are going to add on to those leftover 2 hours in the IV rates to catch up so he can still receive the full 300 milliliters in that 4-hour period. So the first step of this is figuring out how far behind you are. So in order to do that, we're going to say, all right, we're at 10 o'clock. So we need to figure out how much he's supposed to have every hour, basically. So we take 300, the total, and divide it by the 4 hours, which gives us a rate of 75 milliliters per hour. And then from there, we are going to multiply that by the 2 hours between 8 and 10, which gives us 150 milliliters. So between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m., he was supposed to get 150 milliliters, but he only got 110. So we need to subtract that 110 to find out how far behind we are, which is 40 milliliters. And now that we know how much we are behind, we can figure out how much we need to add to catch up. So the first step in that is figuring out how much time we have left, which is 2 hours. So from 10 to noon. And then we divide our 40 by those 2 hours to give us 20 milliliters per hour. And now we know that that's what we need to add onto our regular rate up here of 75 milliliters an hour in order to catch up and run our IV until he gets 300 milliliters by the end at noon. And so in order to do that, we would need to run the IV at a rate of 95 milliliters per hour. And then with that, there's also the rule of thumb with IV catch-up rates is that a safe IV catch-up rate is 1.5 times the ordered maintenance fluids. And so 1.5 times 75 is 112.5. So we just need to make sure that whatever we're running to catch up, we're at 95, is not over 112.5, because that would be considered unsafe and over hydrating them at that point instead of catching up.